Have you ever filmed a one-way video interview and then felt halfway through that this was not going how you planned and you don't know how to steer it back on track? That's a common issue with one-way video interviews, whether it's at the beginning, the middle, or the end of your pre-recorded video interview, but that's okay. Today, we're going to talk about different things to consider if you feel like you're completely stuck and you're halfway through your interview and you want to know, okay, how can I salvage this and get it into a place where I feel like I've done a good job and I still have a chance? So the first thing to consider is that the show must go on. If you're answering a couple of questions and you feel like there's no way you're going to be able to receive a job offer after this, you don't know that. Recognize that you have no idea how your interview is being perceived by the person that's evaluating it. And so as a result, don't assume that you've lost the job and that it's all over. Recognize that it is still an equal chance out there. And so it's really worth finishing strong, completing the process, regardless of how you feel about it. In line with that, it's also beneficial to just recognize that this is a really good experience to gain an understanding of how am I prepared for my one-way video interview? What do I want to do differently next time? And what was this experience like overall? And how can I improve this, learn on this, and grow on this to become a better job candidate? Second thing to consider is that each question is a brand new point. So often athletes will be told by their coaches, forget what happened in the last match, forget what happened in the last point, that doesn't matter. We now have a clean slate, starting fresh, let's go. And it's the exact same thing in one-way video interviews. Forget what you said in the last question, forget whether it went really well or didn't go well at all. And so treat each question as a brand new beginning. Answer the current question regardless of past performance, and this will help you, especially when you feel like you haven't done a good job in the past and you want to kind of improve and not feel stuck psychologically with, oh, I know I answered the first 3 questions not really well. But consider a situation where you're progressively getting worse and worse. It's really hard to get out of that trap. However, thinking of it with a fresh mindset will allow you to just reset, whether during that preparation time you take a breath, just breathe in, breathe out, and then get ready to film your answer. So another thing that might be really helpful for people is to address the situation. So maybe you're really struggling and you feel like you're doing a terrible performance. Look into the camera and just admit that this is difficult for you. Maybe you say, hey, listen, I'm an introvert and I don't like talking to anyone at the best of times, let alone talking to myself about myself. And so you could also share your uncertainty about your performance and just say like, hey, listen, I don't know if this is going well, but I'm just going to keep going. And throw in a little bit of self-deprecating humor if it's appropriate, and give that interviewer or the evaluator a little bit of a laugh just to show that you're human, because that's really what the pre-recorded video interview is all about. It's bringing your resume to life and showing that, yes, I am not a robot. I am who I said I am on my resume, and this is a little bit about my personality and why I'd fit in with the team. And so the last piece is visualize a supportive interviewer. I think a lot of the time people think that companies that use one-way video interviews are just someone in HR who is eating popcorn and getting a good laugh out of watching everyone struggle, but that's often not the case. No one wants you to fail this interview. People are rooting for you, whether it's the person who's watching the interview, people who are going to be working with you in the future. And so imagine a kind, understanding interviewer on the other side who's giving you lots of smiling and encouraging nods. And if you feel stuck or you feel like you don't know what to say next, they're there right behind the camera, just wanting you to succeed and wanting you to do a good job and to think through your answer and to answer everything effectively. And so with that, I'm curious as to know, how do you steer your one-way video interviews back on track? What are your tips? Subscribe, down below. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.